Hello and welcome. In the fast-paced world of hospitality, really understanding what drives success is absolutely key. I've spent years working with hotels to optimize their operations, and I am truly excited to guide you, the students of Europe Hotel School, through a modern blueprint for sustainable growth. So let's dive in and explore how to build a thriving career in this incredible industry.
So, here's our game plan for this explainer. We're going to build a blueprint for success, piece by piece. We'll kick things off by completely rethinking what revenue even means for a hotel today. Then we'll map out the new competitive landscape, and trust me, it's changed. From there, we'll look inward at the engine that really drives your growth, uncover the specific levers you can pull for profit, and wrap up with what I think is the most crucial skill of all, leading with adaptability.
All right, let's get right to it and start with the very foundation of our strategy, redefining hotel revenue. You see, for any hotel to achieve real, sustainable growth, we have to stop chasing those short-term wins and start focusing on long-term value. This is a fundamental shift in mindset, and it changes everything.
For decades, the entire industry was just obsessed with one number: occupancy. How many heads and beds, right? But honestly, that's such a narrow and frankly outdated view. The real game changer, the metric that separates the good hotels from the truly great ones, is guest lifetime value. It's not about one single transaction, it's about building a relationship that brings a guest back time and time again. That's where the real profit is hiding.
So what are we even talking about when we say sustainable growth? Well, it's not about that one-off promotion that packs your rooms for a single weekend. It's a strategic discipline. It's about creating an experience that is so meaningful, so valuable, that your customers will choose you again and again, and they'll happily pay for it. It's all about understanding the why behind their loyalty.
I love this quote because it completely reframes how we should think about revenue. Revenue growth is a living indicator of how effectively an organization understands its market, aligns with customer expectations, and evolves. Think about what that really means. Your revenue isn't just a number on a spreadsheet, it's a story. It tells you exactly how well you're connecting with your guests and how well you're adapting to the world around you.
Okay, so once we've shifted our mindset about what revenue really is, we need to look outside our own four walls. The competitive arena has been completely transformed, and understanding this new landscape is absolutely critical to survival.
It used to be that your biggest worry was the hotel right across the street. But today, your competition is, well, it's everywhere. You're not just competing with other hotels anymore. You're up against short-term rentals, co-living spaces, and even purely digital experiences that are changing how people think about travel. The playing field isn't just bigger, it's a whole new game. And here is one of the biggest challenges, but also one of the biggest opportunities we face today. A guest's best ever service experience, whether it happened with an airline, an online store, or a tech company, now becomes the new standard. That's the bar you have to meet. Your competition isn't just other hotels, it's every single company that delivers an amazing customer experience.
This brings us to a really critical strategic choice. You could play the high-volume, low-value game, but that's a race to the bottom. It just strains your team and waters down your brand. On the other hand, you could offer a super high-value, niche product that's almost impossible to scale. The real win, that sweet spot for sustainable growth, is right in the middle, creating a distinctive, high-value experience that you can deliver consistently and at scale.
So, we've analyzed the market. Now it's time to look in the mirror and really examine our internal growth engine. This is all about aligning your people, your processes, and your technology to turn that great strategy into a reality.
Just think about a guest's journey for a second. It's not one single event. It's a flow that crosses your entire organization. Marketing might bring them in, sales books the room, operations delivers the actual stay, and the service team makes sure they want to come back. Now, if these teams are all working in their own little bubbles, the guest feels that disconnect. Seamless collaboration isn't just a buzzword, it's absolutely essential for a premium experience.
Today, we are just swimming in data. Customer behavior, market trends, operational performance, you name it. But data by itself is just noise. The real magic happens when you use technology to turn that raw information into actionable insights. It's kind of like having all the puzzle pieces. The goal is to put them together to see the full picture so you can make smarter, evidence-based decisions.
In the glue that holds all of this together, that's leadership. A great leader doesn't just set a vision for growth. They empower their teams to actually go out and achieve it. They build a culture where data is valued, where collaboration is rewarded, and where everyone feels accountable for creating an absolutely incredible guest experience.
Okay, so we've got the right mindset, and we've tuned up our internal engine. Now, let's get tactical. What are the specific strategic levers we can actually pull to activate this strategy and drive real, tangible profit? This slide right here tells the whole story. Just look at the numbers. Acquiring a brand new guest is expensive, and the return on that investment is, well, it's unpredictable. But retaining an existing guest, the cost is dramatically lower, the long-term ROI is consistently high, and it creates this positive ripple effect for your brand. The business case for obsessing over guest retention couldn't be any clearer. So, how do we pull these levers effectively? Well, we start asking ourselves some key questions. How can we increase our share of a guest's existing travel budget through smart upselling? How can we innovate our services to surprise and delight them? Are we really using dynamic pricing to its full potential? How do we strengthen our brand so it becomes a magnet for new guests? And critically, are we using technology to enhance every single touchpoint of their journey?
And let's never, ever underestimate the raw power of a strong brand. Like the quote says, a strong brand acts as a differentiator. In a sea of options, a brand that people trust is a shortcut. It makes the decision to choose you easy, almost automatic. And that is an incredibly powerful asset to have.
This brings us to our final and maybe the most important piece of the puzzle, leading with adaptability. Because if there is one constant in our industry, it's change. And building a future-ready organization is no longer a nice-to-have, it's a requirement. The world just doesn't stand still. This timeline is a great reminder that external forces are always at play. We've got economic shifts today, new regulations popping up next year, and who knows what unexpected global events in the future. A rigid 5-year plan that just sits on a shelf is a recipe for disaster. Your strategy has to be a living, breathing thing ready to adapt at a moment's notice. So what do we really mean by adaptability? It's not just about reacting when something changes. That's just playing defense. True adaptability is about playing offense. It's the capability to anticipate change by constantly analyzing trends, being willing to experiment with new ideas, and having the agility to pivot fast. In today's market, this is your ultimate competitive advantage.
So if there's one core idea I want you to take away from our time together, it's this. Sustainable growth is not a project with a finish line. It's a continuous, all-encompassing discipline. It requires weaving together every single part of your organization, from the front desk to the finance department, around this shared mission of creating and delivering unforgettable value day in and day out.
And that leaves you, the future leaders of this industry, with one final essential question to carry with you throughout your entire careers. You should always be asking yourselves, what will my guests value tomorrow? Because the answer to that question will define your success. Thank you.